Welcome back to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duggan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV. If you'd like more information about becoming a guest, text me at 209-896-6500 or email us at info@smallbusinessvoicemedia.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. Like and subscribe on YouTube. And if you'd like to talk to an insurance specialist, you can reach Jeanette at 209-667-2222 or email Jeanette at JeanetteForney@allstate.com. So we have a returning guest. We have J.R. Weezar, owner of The Masters of Moving, or M&M Movers. The website is themastersofmoving.com, and your phone number is 408-637-0691.
So 408 now, but you are local here, correct?
Right, right. We have an 844 number. It's 844-966-MOVE.
And I understand you will even move someone out of state.
Yeah, we do local and long distance moves as well.
All right, that's good to know.
We had a busy day yesterday. We were talking about your commercial that we filmed.
It was fun.
Yeah, we had a good time doing it. And you want to subscribe to my OnlyFans page now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Be the first subscriber.
Yeah. So we want to talk about, like, when people are moving, because we have a lot of people that move out of California. We have a lot of people that come into California. You know, people are moving all the time. It's one of those things that they need. When you are picking a moving company, what steps you have to take to make sure you're picking the right one?
Yeah, what's step one? I mean, let's say I wanted to move, or my sister, my daughter were moving. How would you go about finding a good insurance company, except for, of course, listening to this radio show and picking the masters? So what would you just say to the regular person out there? What are the steps?
So what you want to look at is somebody that has 200, 150, 300 reviews, and you could see overall what type of business it is.
Okay.
Somebody that's reputable.
Well, and then with the reviews, too, I've heard this, and I don't know if this is accurate or not, but you have a lot of great reviews. I've looked at your
Over
page.
300, I think.
Yeah. But I've also heard that the bad reviews are usually at the top, and you have to scroll down to see all the good reviews. So, like, if you go to, like, a Google page where you have, like, 1 million reviews, like, the top 27 are bad, and then, like, people see that. But then as you go down, you have, like, 990, something thousand that are great reviews. Is that... Now you have great reviews on your website and on your Google page. Is that accurate? Or
so what you look at is the overall rating, right? You're going to look at like 5 stars, 4. We're at 4.8 stars.
Oh, that's close to 5.
So
yes,
yeah. I say 5 stars. You know?
Yeah.
But that's what you want to look at.
Yeah.
Depending on what engine you use, search engine you use, Google's great. They don't do the bad reviews on top. It's all by date.
Okay.
Some companies, I'm not going to say any names, but some companies will remove certain reviews that, even if it's a 5-star review, if you sent the client a link, say like you're done with the move, I'll send you a link so you can give us a review.
Yeah.
If you click on that link, they flag it as not authentic and they delete it.
Oh, okay.
And it's not. It's kind of not fair.
What I have found, though, is if I have a company, of course, the insurance industry is just horrible right now.
Right.
But, I mean, so we get all these bad reviews. And the best thing you can do as an owner is you just answer it.
Right.
And so, of course, I answer it on paper, sleep on it one night, and then I answer it the next night. But because a lot of people say, I don't like how the claim was. That has nothing to do with my insurance company. So, I mean, I think honesty and showing that you are on top of it, it's very important. So, but what would so let's say as a consumer, I go out there, I Google, I look at some local companies, etc. Are there any red flags? I know that you're also a member of the Better Business Bureau.
Yes, ma'am.
And why is that important? I mean, it's a government agency. Why do you think it's important?
You can't be accredited Better Business Bureau company without them checking license, insurance, and stuff like that. So a lot of companies won't do it because, of course, you have to pay a membership. But by being part of the Better Business Bureau, it accredits you of being licensed and insured. You want to make sure a company is obviously insured.
Same as the Contractor State License Board. I mean, you can have the web pages and everything else, but somebody says, I'm a contractor. You should actually check their contractor's license number there to see if they have any complaints. And you can also then see somebody had someone do some work. They had a contractor's license number. And, my husband had to come in there to correct what was done wrong when we checked the license number. The guy was a plumber, and he had been doing all the sheetrocking. So,
they're working out of their scope.
Yeah, these are your personal possessions too. So I think it is so important to check that you're using someone professional reputable.
Right.
And I mean, if I were to move, I mean, I've lived in my house 24 years, raised 7 kids. There's a lot of stuff. Is there anything that I, as a consumer, could do to make your job easier and to make sure that I maybe protect some of the things myself? What would you say?
There's
Jeanette,
so many things you can do. There's so many variables. Organization, being organized, prepared.
Packing my jewelry, taking that out first?
Yeah, so there are certain things that movers won't move. A lot of times, firearms, ammunition, propane tanks, gas tanks, we won't move.
Oh.
And we'll tell you that ahead of time.
Okay.
But if you're packing your own belongings, you got to make sure that you do a good job packing and that the boxes are labeled. When you're moving locally, it's going to be hourly. The state of California requires it to be hourly.
All right.
So it's a big difference if you're moving down the street than you're moving, to San Diego or out of state.
So where do I get the boxes? Do you supply a checklist or an email saying these are some of the things you can do to help us out, help yourself out?
So we offer moving supplies as well for clients. So like if you don't want to go to the store, I'll send a truck out and we'll drop off materials at your house if you want that service.
Yeah.
We also offer packing services if you don't have the time or the means of.
Packing services.
Yeah. So
okay,
if you don't
great.
want to do any of that, we'll do it.
Yeah, because I'm lazy, so I would need something like that.
Well,
so,
mine is time constraints.
And some people are
mine
like
does
physically
too.
not able to pack. So, and you want it done right. Some people have expensive artwork and China and stuff like that.
So you listen to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV. Our guest today is J.R. Weezar, owner of the Masters of Moving. You can reach him at 408-637-0691. And his website is themastersofmoving.com. You can also reach him at 844-966-MOVE. Get that out of the way. So that
Yes,
way,
sir.
yeah. So
I'm interested in this commercial, though. When is the commercial going to hit, and where's it going to be?
I don't know. I'm excited.
Because you guys borrowed my truck.
Yes.
yesterday.
Yeah.
We owe her money now.
Yeah, I know.
No, see, that's the whole thing when you have friends in
God.
high places. No. You can grab a truck.
So we used Jeanette's truck,
Right.
and we were gonna put like a sign on it that said, "Well, I don't want to spoil the commercial, but we were gonna put a sign on it,
Right.
and but we were gonna leave out the DOT number. I wanted you to explain about if you see a truck that's gonna move your belongings, if it doesn't have a DOT number, that's a big red flag right there, correct?
Right. Moving companies should have a DOT number, which is a U.S. DOT, which is a Department of Transportation number. Highway Patrol, all the scales, they
Yes.
check all that. The Bureau of Household Goods is also going to give you an MTR number.
Okay.
And that's your California license. And that's stuff you want to look out for.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. As an insurance agent, the DOT number, we report to the Department of Transportation that they, here against certification, that they actually carry combined single limit insurance no less than $750,000 worth. And combined single limit means not only property damage, but liability. And this is important, especially if they're transporting your goods in their truck. And so, that DOT number means that the insurance company has reported to the state of Sacramento, that you have all the insurances. You carry 1 million. Yeah, that's why I said a minimum of, because, there are landscapers that do not need $1 million, but they still need the DOT because of the weight that they're carrying.
So a couple of things we carry. We carry the commercial auto, which covers a truck, cargo insurance that covers a cargo, general liability. If my truck comes in and smacks a pole or hits a building, it's covered. If my guys get hurt, I have workman's comp.
Yeah.
So all that stuff you have to be careful, because if you get a guy that's on Craigslist and they fall down the stairs and break a leg in your home, you're liable for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well.
So now the thing is, you've been in business for how long locally?
7 years and change, almost 8 years.
So people then know you. So you said you moved somebody all the way to Minnesota, but you were willing to go to Minnesota because guess what? They're moving back to California, correct?
Yeah. Client called me back. They were super happy on the move. That was their forever home.
Yeah.
And circumstances changed. And customer called me. He's like, look, I need to move back.
That's the best recommendation.
Can you do it? And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, well, this is how much you charge me. I said, we'll stay within budget. I think I charged him pretty almost the same.
Yeah.
And I flew a crew out there.
Oh my God. Okay, great.
Oh,
so
nice.
that's service.
First class?
And my guys are super happy. No,
No.
coach.
And so that's the whole thing. You'll do a small household, but you've also done some big athletes and things like this. I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking you can handle much
7,000
larger.
square feet houses,
that's my kind of
1,500
house.
square feet houses,
Yeah.
$600 square feet studios.
That's when my pickup truck comes, right?
Ghetto movers.
Hey, JR, I want to thank you for coming back on. You're listening to Small Business Voice with Justin and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV. Our guest today is JR Weezar, owner of the Masters of Moving. His phone number is 408-637-0691. Or you can also reach him at 844-966-MOVE. And the website is themastersofmoving.com.
All right, great.
Yeah. So we want to make sure as a consumer, we get all these questions asked. So we're going to kind of just go over it really quick
But
go
also,
from there.
we are the small business view, so I'm very interested also in the business aspect of things. We now know you're legit. We know everything that you are doing. So let's delve into a little bit of the
and great reviews.
business.
All right, so you're listening to Small Business Voice on Power Talk 1360 KFIV. Stay with us.
Hammer and a nail, stacking them bales.
Cispro Innovations, connecting local businesses with local families. Display your services and products with our pay-as-you-go optimized website design program and boost your brand's online presence with our affordable social media marketing tools. To learn more, visit our website at CisproInnovation.com. That's Cispro, SISBRO, innovation.com.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave.
Welcome back to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV. If you are interested in being a guest, text me at 209-896-6500 or email me at info@smallbusinessvoicemedia.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and like and subscribe on YouTube. If you'd like to talk to an insurance specialist, call Jeanette at 209-667-2222 or email Jeanette at JeanetteForney@allstate.com. Our guest today in this third segment is JR Weezar, owner of the Masters of Moving. You can contact him at 408-637-0691 or 844-966-MOVE. And the website is www.themastersofmoving.com. So we just want to make sure we get everything covered. So I know Jeanette's got a lot of questions.
Oh yeah, well, you were talking about Google reviews, and
Right.
I mean everybody they start basically when they're searching for a company, Google reviews, and then it ends up in a phone call, right? So
Right.
people are still using their phones, and we had touched briefly on Google reviews before, and you were about to tell us something about Google reviews, and as business owners, yeah, this is something that some people they don't handle it quite well. So why don't you give us your take? How do you handle Google reviews? And have you ever had a bad one, and what happened?
Yeah, everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. You're gonna get a bad review sooner or later.
There's Karens out there.
So
right?
yes, there is. I got a Yelp review that was a 1-star one time, and I was so upset, but I didn't. I held back for like 2 or 3 days.
Oh, that must have been really bad.
Yeah, because it wasn't fair. But you hold back and sleep on it. Make sure that you're always professional on replying.
But it's important to reply.
Always.
You cannot, like in life, I ignore negativity. It's not worth my time. But if it's out there on the internet, you have an obligation to your company, your crew, your employees. You have to, defend their reputation, your own reputation. You spend years building it, and then somebody's going to shoot you down. So how did you handle it, and what happened?
There's always two sides to this story.
Mm-hmm.
So I slept on it, thought about it. I was like, how am I going to reply to this? So I ended up replying. And sure enough, a few customers down the road kept on telling me, hey, we saw that bad review and you were so great on replying. And that's why we chose you. So even a bad review can lead to a job. So a tip for me for any business is like always reply and be professional, keep your cool. And that can land another job.
Oh, yeah.
More money, more revenue.
Oh, definitely. Yes. We've all had those. And I actually, when I see a bad review, I take a look and see how the owner replied to
Definitely.
it. And I make sure also when I look at replies sometimes that they're not just canned. I mean, people want to deal with real people these days, not an AI. Because there are
Right.
services out there that will delete bad reviews. There are services that will harvest good reviews.
Right.
And then there are, they've now come out with also a thing where AI will respond to and post for you. And so, I mean, people are looking for authenticity. And when you are dealing with someone, same way that you have repeat business.
Right.
So I have a question, as a business owner also. I'm interested in the influx and export in California, kind of.
Right.
And you said somebody left California and due to circumstances, they came back.
Right.
And so then they called you.
Right.
And I mean, word of mouth is a big thing, but I think the greatest compliment is when someone comes back for your service again. Most people don't think of a moving company as somebody you're going to use several times. A lot of people left California. Right. Are they coming back? What are you seeing mostly? Are they moving within the state into different houses, downsizing, upsizing, or what's going on in the moving industry?
A very small percentage will move back because ultimately, if you grew up in California, this is home.
Yeah.
And life changes. Some people move to Southern California. A lot of people move to San Diego. It's always been big. San Diego's beautiful.
Oh, San Diego is 70 degrees year round?
And then from the Bay Area out to the Valley, of course. And then a lot of people are moving out of state, selling their homes. But it's not much cheaper anymore. I noticed that a lot of places are super expensive. Texas is expensive.
They all got expensive when everybody started moving out there.
You're not getting something for $200,000 or more. Everything's $500,000-$600,000 now, anywhere. So it's just expensive.
And so I'm going to kind of ask. So homes are expensive. Everything you bought to put in that home is expensive.
Right.
People will have estate sales to get rid of most of the stuff before they have to move. How expensive is it we all know, why should we use you instead of Uncle Bob and a couple of pickup trucks? But is it really out of reach, or what are the prices out there?
No, we adjust to clients, right? Some clients we're moving down the street. We just need the big items move. And we call that a big ticket item move, where it's going to be a minimum of, 4 hours or something like that. And it's going to be really cost efficient for those clients because they're going to move all their clothing. They're going to move the lamps. They just want the couches, the dressers, the beds,
all the heavy stuff,
appliances moved. And that's affordable.
Yeah, I have 2 pianos.
Yeah, that's going to cost you money.
Or should we get a piano mover for those?
We do all that. We do
see?
baby grand pianos. We did 9 organs for a client that refurbished them, and he was super happy. We moved them up to Sonora. He was ecstatic because that's all extra, but we took care of him.
All right. So you're listening to Small Business Voice with Justin Duggan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV. Our guest today is J.R. Weezar, owner of the Masters of Moving. He can be reached at 408-637-0691 or 844-966-MOVE. And the website is www.themastersofmoving.com.
Moving season's coming up now. It's
Yes,
the weather's
we're ready.
beautiful. So how much notice do you need? I mean, can I call you and say, guess what? I'm doing a quick sale on my house. I need everything packed up in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's going to cost me.
No,
right?
it's not going to be extra. We don't upcharge like that. What we do is we offer the packing services and all that. If a customer absolutely has a date that needs to be out, weekends always book first. So I always tell them, give us about 2 weeks. But if you're flexible, there's always a couple of days during the week we can get you in. So we work with everybody's schedule. We are limited, but 10 days to 2 weeks is about right.
All right. Do you have any special memorable moves that you would like to talk to us about? I know you just helped this one customer. You had to fly a crew out all the way to Minnesota, which is great. But when you were first starting, can you remember the congratulations? Your family's grown, by the way.
Thank you.
So you're going to need more moves.
Right.
Yeah. And there's always a balance of when you're growing bigger, but now you have to hire more, and that cuts into your profit and getting over that hump.
It's part of business.
Yeah. So the first really big job, when you were first starting out, when you came running home and going you won't believe the job I just got. I mean, that's that great feeling. I remember my first big fleet of trucks for a company that I wrote, and it was equivalent to having written 50 cars. So tell us about that great moment.
So I had moved a family, and they were on a budget, and I gave them a great deal. I was starting off, I was hungry, and I didn't know that this family had extended family that were well off. They referred me to another family that ended up buying a house in Ruby Hill. I don't know if you guys know about the country club in Ruby Hill, but the houses are $2.8 million and more.
Uh-huh.
So I moved. They referred me to a family, and I moved them from San Jose to Ruby Hill, and it took us till 3 a.m. And it was my first huge job. The house was like 6,000 square feet.
And you did it all on your own too.
And I did it with
probably.
me and like 2 or 3 guys, and we were so exhausted, but it was so rewarding. I still have them on my Yelp, and I still have them on my website.
Nice.
They allowed me to take pictures of their house and all that, and I was so proud
Very
of myself
nice.
because it was my first real big move.
And that's so important too. You know, when you're starting out,
Mm-hmm.
and there are no small jobs. And that's the whole thing. It's kind of like when someone goes, well, this kid is young. He just wants liability and a renters. Yeah. And then he's going to get married and there's going to be a brand new car. People don't buy worse cars. They buy new cars. And then that rental is going to turn into a homeowner's insurance. And then they're going to need life insurance. And then when their kids grow up, their parents are going to go see Jeanette at Allstate. She's going to give you good insurance. So, I mean,
Exactly.
that's the whole thing. No tiny job for the business owners out there. And look at this. Your best job was when you helped this big family, and then that just snowballed into something better.
They still call me.
They
still call me, yeah.
And that's very, very
I
important.
moved her daughter and her son, and anytime they need stuff, when they remodel the house, I come back, and they won't call anybody else.
And see, that's the whole thing.
That's
When
good,
we
yeah.
did the segment also about Google and Google reviews and things like this, when people are happy, they expect you to do a good job, and then people are busy and everything else. And so if you really have a company out there that you did a really great job, you should really do a review, because I'll tell you, you could tell everybody how great you are, everything else, and people are satisfied. But the minute something goes wrong, people will want to tell everybody in the whole world. They'll go into the bank. They'll go to their neighbor. They'll call up their family and say, she won't believe what happens. I mean, it's a lot of pressure on people that provide service.
It
So,
is.
I'm so glad about your reviews.
Thank you.
You're a small business, so we want to promote small businesses. The ones you kind of go up against are like the bigger business, like the bigger moving companies, correct?
Those are the best ones I like to take down.
Okay, good.
Take that. Ooh.
So you're like, who's that, Lancelot or something like that? The one that pulled the sword out? Or
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
Neither do I.
No, but I really like to compete. There's enough
I
moves
got
for
great-
everybody.
Yeah, so you're David. You're going to
Goliath.
Goliath. Yeah, there we go.
Reference the Bible. I know that.
There we go.
But,
Yeah, I know that one. So.
Well, you answer your own Google reviews,
I did.
right?
Yeah. Well, JR, I want to congratulate you on everything.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to this commercial coming out.
Me too. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. And I'm hoping it just brings all of us a lot of business, actually.
Yeah, we have
So,
to work together.
yeah.
That's another thing. Is
Yeah.
a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's competition." I work with a lot of moving companies.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I do, I really do, because
Yeah.
like if I'm going to San Diego and I need an extra hand, I have a buddy down there that owns a moving company.
Oh, do you?
Same
Okay.
thing in Idaho, Texas.
Well,
I'm
we have to,
connected.
and that's the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Businesses work together, and that's why we have the Small Business View, being able to introduce different businesses to the
Right.
community, business owners giving advice and tips to
Yeah.
others, and also giving tips and advice to the consumer out there.
Exactly.
And we are approachable, and then we all have families to feed.
Exactly.
Yeah. My next call from you, I'm hoping you're saying I can't come on right now because I'm like way too busy.
I'll make time. I always make time.
I know.
Okay,
We'd love
wonderful.
to have you come back on.
Thank you.
We
So-
love success.
Yeah, a lot of success. So that was JR Weezar, owner of the Masters of Moving. And you can reach JR at 408-637-0691 or 844-966-MOVE. So you're listening to Small Business Voice with Just Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV. Stay with us.
Hey y'all, what's going on? Been waiting on this all day long. When you